Good morning. Today we are going to learn about MOSFET capacitance. After completion of today's session, you are able to classify MOSFET capacitance, explain about oxide related capacitance and junction capacitance. Let's discuss about parasitic capacitance associated with the MOS transistor. What is parasitic capacitance? It is an unavoidable and unwanted capacitance that exists in MOSFET due to layout geometries and the manufacturing processes. The parasitic capacitance are not man-made or fabricated capacitance. Most of these capacitance are not lumped but distributed. What is the difference between lumped and distributed? Lumped are thought of being concentrated at a single point, but distributed are built based on the assumption of being distributed throughout the region. So, this one is the cross-sectional view and this one is the top view of the MOSFET. During fabrication, first we fabricate the gate terminal. Then cut two windows in either side of the gate where two N plus regions are formed. In these windows, we add N plus impurities to the substrate. Due to this, two N plus regions are formed in that window region by using diffusion process. But during this diffusion process, the diffused area slightly spreads into the nearby regions. I try to draw the exact area. Means if this is the window area, the extra regions are here in both source and drain side. So this area is the overlap region, that is spread below the gate region. That overlap areas in both source and drain side denoted as LD. They are symmetrical. These two regions are symmetrical. LD is on the order of 0.1 micrometer. Both source and drain diffusion regions have a width of W. The diffusion region length is denoted by Y. The both source and drain diffusion region are surrounded by a P plus doped region or substrate. We can simply say the P-type substrate. It is also called channel stop implant. This channel stop implant region provides the electrical isolation from neighboring devices. If another transistor fabricated just in the side of this MOSFET, means on the same substrate, then it provides the electrical isolation. The total length of the gate, means the mask length, is the LM, that is denoted by LM, and the actual length of the channel is L. We generally think channel length is equal to the gate length, but due to presence of the overlap regions, it is not true. So after excluding the overlap area, the actual length of the channel is, this one is the whole length of the gate. We exclude these two regions to find out the actual channel length. So LM minus 2 LD, LD plus LD, 2 LD. Next, let's see the lumped representation of the parasitic MOSFET capacitance. Here, capacitance between two terminals located at a single point, but actually during calculation we see it is present in distributed manner. So these three are oxide related capacitance, these two are junction related capacitance. So MOSFET has four terminal, that is source, drain, gate, body, and this one is the capacitance between gate and body. This one is the capacitance between gate and drain. This one is the capacitance between gate and source. So these are three oxide related capacitance. This one is the capacitance between drain and body. This one is the source and body, and these two are junction related or junction capacitance. Next, we start discussion from classification of capacitance. Based on their physical origin, the parasitic device capacitance can be classified into two types, that is oxide related capacitance and junction related capacitance. Oxide related capacitance. A MOS transistor consists of a gate conductor and a semiconductor means substrate separated by a gate dielectric means oxide layer. So it acts as a parallel plate capacitor, hence the gate oxide capacitance per unit area is given by Cox. Cox means gate oxide capacitance equal to epsilon ox by Tox, where epsilon ox is the permittivity of the oxide, Tox equal to thickness of the oxide. Epsilon ox equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, epsilon r is the permittivity of the gate dielectric, and these all are constant. The two overlap capacitance that arises as a result of the structural arrangement are called CGS overlap and CGT overlap, means these two region, that is LD part. If someone asks the cross sectional area of that overlap portion, then we know the length is LD and width is W. So this is the cross sectional area. So the capacitance of gate to source overlap portion is Cox into W into LD, and it for capacitance of gate to drain overlap is also the same. Next, the channel region is connected to the source, drain and substrate. Now we discuss about three capacitance between gate and these regions, that is CGS, CGD and CGB. The gate to source capacitance CGS is actually the gate to channel capacitance seen between gate and source terminal. Also, gate to drain capacitance CGD is actually the gate to channel capacitance seen between gate and drain terminal. Depending on biasing condition, the MOSFET depends in three regions, that is cutoff, linear and saturation. First we discuss about cutoff mode. So in this mode there is no channel formed, because of that there is no connection between source and drain. So we can say there is no connection or control of gate on source and drain. Therefore, gate to source and gate to drain capacitance are both equal to 0. Due to absence of channel, there is a direct contact between gate and body. So gate and body equal to Cox into W into L. Next, linear mode. In this mode there is channel present. Here is the channel. Between source and drain there is a channel present. This inversion layer on the surface covers the substrate and there is no connection between substrate and gate. Means capacitance between gate and body is 0. As we discussed that CGS and CGB both are gate to channel capacitance, but this capacitance is shared equally between the source and drain. Hence CGS nearly equal to CGD nearly equal to 1 by 2 Cox W by L. Next, saturation mode. In this mode, the inversion layer or channel on the surface does not extend to the drain, means it is pinched off. So CGD equal to 0. Since the source is still connected to the conducting channel, so CGB equal to 0. As the channel is present near the source only, so this part approximated as 2/3 part of the channel. So CGS nearly equal to 2 by 3 Cox W into L. Next we discuss about total capacitance. So in every region the overlap capacitance is present. Overlap capacitance is related to source and drain. So there is no change in CGV value. Only here we write the total gate to drain capacitance, gate to source capacitance. So in cutoff CGT equal to CGT in cutoff mode we know that is 0 plus CGD overlap. So here is the value Cox W LD and this is same for CGS. Like this in linear region CGD equal to 1 by 2 Cox WL plus CGT overlap. So the value is given here half Cox WL plus Cox WLD. The value of CGS is same. Next is the saturation region. In saturation region CGT equal to 0 plus CGD overlap. Here is the value for CGS equal to 2 by 3 Cox WL plus CGS overlap. So here is the value. Next we discuss about junction capacitance. Here we discuss about source to substrate and drain to substrate junction capacitance, that is CSB and CDB. Whenever we have a PN junction, whether or not we apply any voltage across the junction, we always get a depletion region across the junction. If it is a PN junction, then this one is the junction, and across this junction there is a depletion region is formed. Like this, here the N plus region and the P type substrate. So it is joined here, means this one is the junction and near the junction there is a depletion region is formed. Depletion region is the region where no mobile charge carrier present. So it is act like a dielectric material. Because of that, the N region and P region act as two plates and the depletion region act as dielectric. So this is the capacitance of the PN junction. CSB and CDB are functions of source voltage and drain voltage because it modulating the depth of the junction. Capacitance depends on the depth of the junction. As junction depth increases, the capacitance decreases, means if we give reverse bias, the depth increases and capacitance decreases. If we give forward bias, then junction depth decreases and the capacitance increases. So, what is the area of this junction? To find out the area, we first approximate the source and drain region in a box shape, means in rectangular shape. All of these surfaces contribute to the source to body capacitance. The height of the region is h, then area is as for source, for drain it is ad. Then the perimeter of source is ps, perimeter of drainage pd. It is drain. The area of the junction for the source is AS plus PSH, here AD plus PDH for drain. Junction capacitance of source is CJS equal to AS plus PSH by DJ into epsilon SI. Similarly, we can write for drain, where DJ equal to depth of the junction, epsilon SI equal to permittivity of the junction. So this is all about today's class. Thank you.